The Cowboys have acquired one of my favorite players in the draft, Kelvin Joseph, cornerback from Kentucky. His rap name is Boss Man Fat. So for the duration of his Cowboy career, I will be referring to him as Boss Man Fat. Now, this will be a shorter film session. I'm going to spend about 10 minutes on it, but if you want a longer film session, I broke down like 5 games for about an hour. That's over on my Patreon. Check out the Kelvin Joseph film session over there at patreon.com/vochlombardi. That link is in the description. All right. The one thing that I really like about Kelvin Joseph is, you're going to hear people talk about his athleticism, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that later, but I love how patient he can be with his mirroring and his just being in phase and just always being parallel to the wide receiver, staying square, things like that. Take a look at Kelvin Joseph up top. He's going to line up against Copeland here, and Copeland is going to set up a slant with a fade, which is a pretty interesting, nuanced wide receiver route running move. I don't hate that at all. Amari Cooper has gotten really good at it. What I like about Kelvin Joseph is look at how Kelvin just stays patient right there, right? A lot of guys would, kind of panic and overreact to the fade, and they will completely bail out and turn towards the end zone. And if they do that, then you have the slant wide open. But Kelvin Joseph didn't fall for the okie doke, right? He didn't activate Copeland's trap card here. He stayed square to the defender. He says, I'm going to put myself in perfect position. If it's a fade, I'm in position to turn and run with you. But if it's a slant, you're going to have to run through me, player. And that is the result that Kelvin Joseph got. And I think partially Kelvin Joseph is that patient because he has the athleticism to make up for any ground that he might have lost. Let's take a look at another play. It's like every play that you watch Kelvin Joseph down bottom here, he's just always like in terms of man coverage, he's just always with the receiver, right? Nobody's ever outrunning him. Nobody's ever shaking him. He never falls for fakes. And if you're a man cover guy, like that's kind of what you need, man. And you take that, you pair it along with some top tier speed and ball skills, man. Let me show you the very first play that made me realize how fast Kelvin Joseph was. Let me just show you this real fast. Hold on. I remember watching this Mississippi State film, and I remember them not throwing the ball at Kelvin Joseph at all. And I remember saying, like, bro, like, why aren't they throwing the ball at Kelvin? I would love to have some analysis on Kelvin Joseph, and I would love to know how fast it really is. This is just what I'm thinking as I'm watching the film. Now, the dude that's going to catch the interception is the left defensive end right here. Kelvin Joseph is way in the back. He's going to be right here. He's going to be dropping in this deep zone here. So you're going to get an interception from the end. Kelvin Joseph is back here. Look at Kelvin Joseph just catch up. Just look at Kelvin Joseph just covering all this ground. And to be fair, if you want to look at Kelvin Joseph as a free safety, I don't hate the idea of doing it. I think that Kelvin Joseph's man cover skills are so good that I'm going to keep him at corner. But if for whatever reason in the National Football League, if it didn't work out, then let that dude go play free safety or something. I'll show you an example why. As good as Kelvin Joseph is in man coverage, he is equally as good in zone coverage. Let's just take a look at this play, Kelvin Joseph up top. This is going to be a zone look, which is fine. But now let's take a look at Kelvin Joseph floating in zone, keeping his eyes on the quarterback, finding the football, catching the interception, and putting both feet in bounds. That is an NFL interception, ladies and gentlemen. So whatever scheme you want to run with him, like whether he's, patrolling a deep portion of the field, whether he's in man, I think Kelvin Joseph, not only is he athletic enough, but he's versatile enough to play in multiple scenarios, right? That's Kelvin Joseph on the left side of the screen. I got to pause right here. And we see Kelvin turning and finding the football and getting there and coming down with the interception, bro. You have got to be excited about this dude, bro. I don't know, man. I just love to see this dude phase up with receivers and turning and running because he just has the perfect timing with his turn and his running, bro. So, like, Kelvin Joseph isn't the perfect prospect, right? Like he can work on like things like consistency or whatever. Just don't like some of the things that he's really good at. Just doing it just like way more often or whatnot. If he's doing that, then like, well, just show me the problems of Kelvin Joseph. Show me the problem, right? So I didn't consider Kelvin Joseph to be in the same tier as like J.C. Horn or whatever, right? Because I just think J.C. Horn was an incredible cornerback prospect, and since I watched film on him, J.C. was my number one guy. But Kelvin was making it real hard for me, just ranking these guys. Kelvin Joseph ended up being my cornerback number 2, and he was a top 15 player on my overall board. Y'all can check my big board. It's on Twitter somewhere. But Kelvin Joseph was always somewhere close to the top of my list. And as I was making my board, I was like, hey, man, I like this dude a little more than Surtain. I like this dude a little more than Newsom. I like him a little more than Farley. And the one thing that sealed the deal, which put him over Surtain for me, is I feel really good about Kelvin Joseph playing one-on-one coverage with no safety help. I can't say the same thing about Pat. You know what I mean? So Kelvin Joseph, of course, you have the off the field stuff, but if we're talking about on the field prospect, right? If it weren't for the off the field stuff, Kelvin Joseph probably be a top 15 pick in this draft because he's just that good. He's just that talented naturally. Then he has the other little nuances of the game that he has. And barring consistency, you know what I mean? This dude gives you so much more upside, so much more of a ceiling, Why did I have him ranked over guys like Greg Newsom? Well, Greg Newsom stays hurt, but it came down to the athleticism and the nuance for me. So, hey, man. Also, too, just another talking point, the NFC East have acquired many receivers, and one of those receivers, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to get Devontae Smith. A lot of people didn't like the idea that we helped Philly get Devontae Smith, but if we didn't, then the Giants were going to get Devontae Smith. So I just think it was a situation where we're going to deal with one of those guys regardless, so we might as well get the extra pick since he's going to be in the division. And the other thing I like about Kelvin Joseph the most, man, and they probably talking about this on TV or wherever y'all getting your information from, is Kelvin Joseph was the only cornerback that lined up against Devontae Smith, lived to tell about it, no catches on him. He got no catches on Kelvin and got an interception. And I just think that's interesting that, Devontae Smith goes to the Eagles now. He's a full blown Eagle, and the dude that did the best versus him is on our team now. I just think that's a cool little, blessing in disguise. I don't know if it ended up being that way on purpose, but it is what it is. It's that way now. So I just think that we that we just have to think about the context of Kelvin Joseph plus Trevon Diggs. We listen to the press conferences or whatnot. Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy, they made it clear, like, we're a cover 3 team, but they want to run a bunch of man. They want length. They want size. And you put Trevon Diggs on one side and boss man fat Kelvin Joseph on the other, boy, oh boy, you have something incredible in the works. And I don't know, man. It's just no way that you can't be excited about these guys. Diggs being a guy that was supposed to be a first round pick last year, that you got in the second, and Kelvin Joseph is a guy that was supposed to be a first round pick this year. I would say technically it's supposed to be a first round pick, if not for non-football things. And you got him in the second round also, man. So I just think that we not only have good value in both those players, but they're really legit talents that probably would have gone first round otherwise. So if you just take a look at the addition of Michael Parsons and Boss Man Fat, just off the rip, man, Team Toxic is coming back with a bang. And people say they want dogs. I don't particularly like the verbiage dogs, or just I need me a dog on. You just want a good player, because Byron Jones was a gentleman, but he was a good player. You know what I'm saying? I understand what people mean when they say that they want dogs, but Kelvin Joseph is a good player, and he just happens to be a dog, a very angry person that's very competitive, that's going to bring it to you every single down. So you got to be excited about that. I'm super excited. It feels good to see the rest of Cowboy Nation being also that excited, or as excited as I was. When should y'all expect film sessions on the third round picks? I don't know. Y'all gotta wait around on that. But Kelvin Joseph as a second round pick, I feel really, really confident about. So like I said earlier, man, if y'all want to see more film, I broke down the Tennessee game. Also, I got some Georgia film, and on top of the Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida film. Y'all can go check that out on my Patreon, patreon.com/vochlombardi. It'll be waiting for you over there. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I stayed up late to do this because I'm that excited about the player. I'll catch y'all next time. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Hit the notification bell and hit the sub. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.